What's up, gamers? This is That PlayStation Gamer. Today we're going to talk about the Kadokawa's potential buyout from Sony and why I actually have some problems with it. Mostly not actually dealing with the gaming side because, that's its own thing. It's like, yeah, From Software would be owned by Sony, but I don't think Sony's dumb enough to make, everything they do exclusive to them. I think Sony's smart enough to be like, hey, we need to kind of still be a little bit third party on this, but like, in a kind of a very vague way too. Like for the record, my official stance on this is Sony would not make From Software games exclusive or Spike, whatever the fuck that developer's name is that did the Dragon Ball Spark and Zero. More of they would just make it timed exclusive. That's what I could see playing out. We see this in the case of games like Destiny 2, where I was like, even then, I don't think like Destiny 2 has exclusive content to PlayStation unless it's related to a PlayStation IP, like The Last of Us, Ghost Shells, and stuff like that. So, as far as I go, I don't see Sony making From Software exclusive. Now, what I could see being a problem is anime. Now, Sony basically right now has a monopoly on anime outside of Japan. Like, we're talking like if you want to watch anime in the most, sorry I bumped the microphone there, the most legal way, you have to have Crunchyroll, period. You have to have Crunchyroll because you don't have our subscription services out there that, live stream anime that are as, massive as Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll goes far as even dubbing these animes pretty quickly too. Anime like Shangri-La Frontier, Demon Slayer, and that's because Sony bought out Funimation, which means not only does Sony own the biggest streaming network to watch anime, they own the biggest dubbing company. So that's probably why you actually hear a lot of similar voices too, because they bought out everyone that, they could get. Like, just get everyone. And this does raise a concern for me because I like anime having variety. I like anime having multiple studios out there working on projects. But if Sony could just go around and throw their money around and say, hey, we'll get the biggest, contracts we can for dubbing and animation, then why would anyone really want to step up? I mean, you still have Viz Media, but Viz Media has its own fucking problem because, like, they just, I swear Viz Media just hates, freaking, content creators. But it's like, I feel the biggest problem is just that it's getting dangerously close to a monopoly. Like I said, we're already kind of there outside of Japan, but if you get in Japan and they start having more and more studios they buy up, I do think there's a serious cause for concern about a potential monopoly of anime in Japan, and I think outside of Japan too, because I don't want there to be one company ruling everyone. Like, I want everyone to have a, equal opportunity to get these contracts for these big animes, like Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, much as My Hero Academia has kind of fallen off, the next Naruto series, let's say if there's a new Naruto series, like, I want everyone to have a fair chance at that. But when there's one company that just says we can just throw around our money and don't give a shit, then at this point, it's like, it's really concerning. And also it's concerning because it can't be doing well on the animators' part. Like, you guys don't know, animators in Japan are probably like some of the most overworked people in their economy. Like, because they have to make these animes in such a tight deadline that it's insane. There's some anime out there that they are, working on right now that probably won't come out for at least one more year. Dr. Stone's final season probably being worked on, a couple years ago, as far as I could tell. So it's like, animation takes a long ass time, and a lot of these employees get overworked. And then, of course, there's, stuff with, voice actors also being overworked and getting paid very little. There's just, like, a bunch of problems when it comes to anime. And when you got one company that essentially could say we could do whatever the hell we want, how much you want to bet that company is going to just not give a shit about the well-being of their employees and their contract employees, like voice actors? So it's a cause for concern. Like I said, on the gaming front, I don't worry about this so much because it's really when you look at what they're trying to buy here, they're trying to buy From Software and the animation stuff. Everything else is just kind of like extra stuff on top. I don't know everything Kadokawa owns, but to me, it's a cause for concern. It's a cause for concern because at this point, I want to say this right now. I'm trying to be very balanced about this. I can see the benefits on one hand, and I can see the cons on the other hand. It's the same thing with ABK. I said this could be a very serious cause for concern because what happens when one company decides, hey, we could just buy out our competition? That's what Sony's literally doing. And Microsoft, I can almost guarantee they've thought about it a couple times. Like, there literally has been like times where there was an Xbox documentary I reacted to where they were talking about like how at one point they just wanted to buy out Nintendo. And like, it's not like that would have been impossible. It's just like a matter of like, did they want to sell? I don't like the idea of Sony or Microsoft one day coming to the other company saying, how much? Because it's like, once they lose all competition, it's just, the creativity in the game industry dies then. And that's just a hard fact. Hey, if you think things are bad now with like, big AAA games, imagine if Sony went to an EA, went to a Namco Bandai and said, we want to buy you. How much? After they buy someone like From Software, if that's what happens. Like, how much do they buy until you realize there's a monopoly developing here? And it's a serious cause for concern. And it will squash any creativity left in this industry. And it's a cause for concern. But then again, that's me being a doomer. That's me being a black pill person. I'm trying to kind of approach all this with wait and see approach. We don't know if even Kadokawa will agree to be bought. It doesn't sound like that is something they would agree to unless Sony really is flexing a big ass check. And there's got to be a lot of zeros on that because I don't think Kadokawa undervalues themselves. I think because of games like Elden Ring, they know they got a big piggy bank right there. And they know people want more Elden Ring and Souls-like games. And hell, even to a degree, like Armored Core content. So if Sony wants that stuff, they're going to have to pay for it. And they're going to have to pay a buttload of money. I mean, like, maybe around the same figures as ABK, potentially. We don't know for sure, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's my thoughts on this whole situation. Let me know, guys, in the comment section below. What do you think it is? Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think this is a bad thing? Are you, like me, taking a wait-and-see approach? Like I said, it's crazy. I don't like the idea of big companies owning other bigger companies. It's the same. It's the best allegory I could come up with. It's watching a bigger fish eat a big fish. It's like, this can't be good for the industry as a whole. But again, that's even if they agree to it, which is not likely to happen, but we'll see. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Blah, 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 blah. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube RMBS. I'm going to go play some games. Bye.